What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Fight Franchise and my recap and review of the main event of UFC 297 and the middleweight division, and what I want to see going forward in the middleweight division. Dricus Du Plessis is the new middleweight champion of the world. A lot of people are up in arms about this, and these are Sean Strickland fans. And I'm going to kind of dissect and go through that fight now. And kind of then after go through what I want to see in the middleweight division, because the middleweight division has opened up ever since Israel Adesanya lost to Sean Strickland, and it is the most exciting division in the UFC probably right now. It's so much fun with all the options available. It's just these guys need to fight, and start, getting on the gas and giving us some entertainment. DDP and Sean Strickland went ahead in that match. Who do I think won? If I'm being brutally honest, I thought the fight was a draw. I thought Sean won the first and second round, clearly. He did the more damaging shots. He was better with his forward pressure. He wasn't really getting hit. He scored the more damage, and he was the better off across the first two rounds, I felt. I know some people are giving DDP the second round, but I just think the first and second round, for me, Sean Strickland was the better, and he deserved to win those rounds. The third and fourth round, I don't know if it was fatigue or tiredness, but I don't think Sean Strickland is the kind of guy to get tired. He took his foot off the gas, and DDP started slamming those leg kicks and getting back into the fight, which made this a real fun and interesting fight. And then DDP kind of used a bit of grappling as well here and there. And I thought DDP stole the third and fourth round. The fifth round was so difficult for me to score. And I know people will go off significant strikes, this, that, and the other. But just watching the fight live, I genuinely wouldn't have hated it if the fight was a draw. Because it was that close of a last round, and it was that close of a fight just overall. Like, I thought 1-2 Strickland, 3-4 Du Plessis, and then the fifth round, it was a toss-up. It could have gone either way, and I wouldn't have hated a draw. I think it would have been a fair result. DDP got the nod, whether you think that's because they want to bring a fight card to Africa or they want a more politically correct champion. That's entirely up to you, but the decision's the decision. It's been made. But going forward in this division, there is a lot of excitement. Does Sean Strickland deserve a rematch? Brutally honest, yes, he does, because that was such a close fight. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight again. It reminds me, and I know he wasn't champion, when Colby and Kamaru fought the first time, and Kamaru, and Colby, they put on a war, and Kamaru got the finish. Colby didn't fight for ages and then got the rematch because it was such a close and competitive fight. And he screams and shouts and says what he wants, but he sells pay-per-views as well. And then he got the rematch. I think Sean Strickland, forget everything else, just off performance alone and how close that fight was, he's deserving of a rematch. So in that sense, Sean Strickland, when he wants, can say, look, I want a title fight, and he should get it from the UFC. There's also so much. I'm going to load up the middleweight rankings here because there is so much craziness going on and what can happen. The only thing I wish Alex Pereira was still in this division. Then this division would be like rocket fuel. So these are right now the middleweight rankings. You got Du Plessis champion, Strickland 1, Adesanya 2, Whittaker 3, Cannonier 4, Vettori 5, Costa 6, Brendan Allen 7, Roman Dolidze 8, Khamzat Chimaev 9, Jack Hermansson 10. After the 10, we won't get involved, but there is so much that can happen in this division going forward. You can, UFC 300, if they said Strickland versus Du Plessis turnaround main event, UFC 300, none of the fans would bat an eyelid. It would be an amazing main event and worthy of the main event of that pay-per-view. And, would be a great addition to the card. And Sean Strickland is deserving of a rematch. If it's not Strickland, who I think is the likely next person to get the shot, Israel Adesanya versus Dricus Du Plessis in South Africa. What a fight that will be. There's bad blood, there's tensions from before. And I remember when Izzy was saying, I predicted this, that, and the other, but he was predicting this fight was going to happen, and he was predicting he was going to go in as champion. Du Plessis going in as champion with all the momentum and with all the hype behind him and in his hometown. Izzy versus Du Plessis would be unbelievable in South Africa. That would be such a great main event and would be a massive pay-per-view maybe in the summer. I know I think they'd probably try and line that up for this late summertime, maybe late July, August. They may try and line that up, which would be an amazing fight. Then you've got Whittaker. Whittaker's coming off a loss to Du Plessis. If he wants to get back in the title picture, I know Strickland, I've said, is deserving of a rematch. But if the UFC says no, he's not deserving of a rematch, you have to fight someone. Du Plessis versus Izzy for the main event. Strickland versus Robert Whittaker co-main event. That's an amazing co-main event for that fight night. And also, if someone misses weight, obviously I doubt Izzy or Du Plessis will miss weight. They're very professional. But if they did or someone got injured, you could throw Strickland or Whittaker back in. But yeah, that's another fun fight you can make. You got Jared Cannonier, who's on such a great streak. I don't remember the last time actually Jared Cannonier fought. Let me just check that because I feel like I didn't even see him fight last year for some reason. Jared Cannonier, let's have a look. Who was his last fight? He fought last year in June. I forgot. This was a brilliant performance. He fought Marvin Vettori. But look at Jared Cannonier's last 5. Beat Kelvin Gastelum, beat Derek Brunson, lost to Izzy, beat Sean Strickland, the former champ, and then beat Marvin Vettori. He's not far off a title shot as well, to be honest with you. He needs 1 or 2 more wins, or maybe even 1 win against someone. Maybe even Sean Strickland again, if he can get a win over Sean Strickland. He's right back in the title picture. There's so many potential contenders. Marvin Vettori's 5th in the rankings, but I don't think Marvin's back in the title picture anytime soon. Just because I just think he needs a few, like 3 or 4. He needs to go on a run before he can earn a title shot. The guy below Marvin Vettori can get back into the title picture. That's Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa has a fan-friendly and fun style. And imagine Paulo Costa versus Dricus Du Plessis in a fight. Probably wouldn't sell the biggest amount of pay-per-views, but as a fight, what an exciting fight that would be. Dricus Du Plessis versus Paulo Costa would be an all-out slugfest on the feet. I hope Du Plessis wouldn't even wrestle and Paulo Costa doesn't even try grappling, because that would be a stand and bang and fight, and I hope someone would get knocked out. You got Brendan Allen and Roman Dolidze, who are great fighters, but it's the guy after them who's ranked 9th who we can try and get into the title picture, who is, let's be honest, I know his star has faded, but he is a verging superstar. He's on the cusp of superstardom, and that's Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev, as much, whether you love him, hate him, whether you think he lost or won against Kamaru and Gilbert, it doesn't matter. He's a star. We haven't seen that Paulo Costa fight because Paulo Costa got injured. I thought he didn't make weight, but he got injured. But Khamzat can call out Strickland, and that's an awesome fight, and Dana will try and make that. He can call out Izzy. It's an awesome fight, and they can make that. And he call out Whittaker. It's an awesome fight, and they can make that. If Khamzat beats any of those, if he beats any of those 3, he's back. He's in the title picture, and that is entertainment galore for us. Which means there's so much chaos and so much can happen over these 12 months because the middleweight champion has just fought. So hopefully by June, I'm hoping Du Plessis doesn't hold this title for 9 months and then defends, because then we only get 2 title defenses. There is so much that can happen in this division, but we just need Du Plessis to be an active champion. I know he's talked about turning around at 300. At the end of the day, for Du Plessis, it's going to be this. Pay him the cash and he'll show up. UFC, pay Du Plessis the cash. Make a fight in early June for him to fight Israel Adesanya. Book Robert Whittaker versus Sean Strickland if you have to. And book Khamzat Chimaev versus Paulo Costa. If that doesn't happen, do Khamzat Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker. And do Paulo Costa versus Sean Strickland. These are fresh matchups we've never seen before. Hell, you can even make a super card for middleweight. You can make an absolute super card. You can do Du Plessis versus Izzy in the main event at South Africa. You can do Sean Strickland versus Robert Whittaker. Or you can switch these matchups around and then do underneath that Khamzat v Paulo Costa. And if you want, make them all 5 rounds and call it UFC South Africa, the supercard. And just make it a supercard at the top of middleweight action, because if anyone gets injured or falls through, you just bump them up and get another middleweight in like Vettori or Cannon. Actually, you know what? Actually, Vettori's just fought Cannonier. We could make a supercard of 4 middleweight fights now, I'm thinking. You do... See, Robert Whittaker's already fought Cannonier, and I'm just trying to think if there's a way we can do it where we can get Cannonier and Vettori involved, and we make it 4 super fights at middleweight and just make it the middleweight card. It would be unbelievable. But if I was going to predict where Du Plessis gets unstuck, Du Plessis wasn't the most convincing against Sean Strickland, which is surprising because normally the first and second round he comes out like a bull in a china shop and gets the knockout, and we're all amazed at how sloppy he looks and how he gets the KO. Against Strickland, I don't know if he gave him more respect or Strickland's just that good and I'm not realising it, but Strickland pieced him up, and he pieced him up good with that jab. But Du Plessis showed brilliant wrestling. But and I predicted at the end of the year, the middleweight champion would be Adesanya. Just because skill set for skill set, his skill set is so good. Yes, Sean Strickland unstuck him. But skill set for skill set, he's shown how good he is against all these other middleweights, bar current Sean Strickland. And I just think he has that style that can stifle all these guys. Against Du Plessis, it's a weird fight, and I can see Izzy schooling him on the feet for 5 rounds if Du Plessis chooses to stand with him. And I can see Du Plessis the other way, grinding out a win, because I don't know if Izzy's showing himself as a bit lackluster in that Sean Strickland fight. But if it's the Izzy of old who comes in prepared, motivated, we saw how motivated he was against Alex Pereira after he lost and wanted to get the title back, and he KO'd Alex Pereira. He doesn't like Dricus Du Plessis. He wants his belt back. He has the opportunity to, 3-time middleweight champion, and he's got a legacy. And we know how much legacy means to Israel Adesanya. Yeah, money. He's got money. These other guys are kind of fighting for money. Izzy ain't fighting for money no more. It's about legacy for Izzy. If he fought Du Plessis in South Africa, that is a mega fight with his legacy on the line. And I just think, but to be fair, it's Du Plessis in his hometown, actually, now I think about it. And he ain't going to want to lose either. But I just think styles make fights. And I think Izzy has the style which can stifle Du Plessis. Even in a 5-round decision, I feel like he can do that. I think the only way Du Plessis can win that fight is if he pressures so much that Izzy doesn't get off any offense. But Izzy's going to find a way to get off some offense. But the middleweight division right now is amazing. It is one of the most entertaining divisions. The guys in this division need to fight, and they need to fight ASAP. Dana, if you watch this, you're probably not going to watch this. But if you do, in South Africa, the middleweight supercard, you can make it. Just throw a bunch of cash at it and give us a supercard for the ages. Du Plessis vs Adesanya in the main event for the title. Co-main event, Strickland versus Whittaker, 5-round fight. And then the other fight below that, Khamzat Chimaev, Paulo Costa, 5-round fight. The middleweight supercard is what we want to see at UFC South Africa, whenever that is, hopefully in June, July or August. Because we want this title defended, because if we can get 3 middleweight title fights this year, that would be so fun. Because lightweight, it looks like it's going to be quite a quiet division. And some of the other divisions like light heavyweight, where we don't know what's happening in that division, it's going to be quite a quiet division. So our active divisions are the best, and that's what we want. And we want more title fights, so people can so you can show off the best product at the end of the day. The main events and the title fights is what most of the fans tune in for and want to see. Yeah, we tune in for the rest of the card, but the main event is, and the titles is what we care about, and who's the champion at the end of the year is what we care about. So get it done. UFC Supercard South Africa. Get all these middleweights fighting, even if you want to. And I know you hate it, make a tournament. It would be so amazing just to see something new and fresh happen. I know they won't do it, but yeah, that's what I think I want. That's what I want to see for the middleweight division going forward. Let us know down in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen in the middleweight division? Who do you think is going to unstuck Dricus Du Plessis? Do you think it's going to be Izzy? Do you think Strickland gets the belt back? Do you think Khamzat Chimaev makes a sneaky run for the title? Let us know down in the comments below. What do you think of the UFC South Africa middleweight supercard I made? Do you want to see it? Do you not want to see it? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan? How would you kind of make the fights? Put that down in the comments below. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more MMA and fight content coming soon. We hope you enjoyed the video and we'll catch you in the next one.